Episode 60. The difference between objective and subjective consciousness creating. Good evening, I am Tomas Guevara, and this is the channel Rewriting the Reality. Subscribe to this channel to expand your awareness. In today's episode 60, I will explain to you that there is quite little difference between our objective and subjective consciousness creating. As I have expressed many times, our objective and subjective move in harmony. Therefore, what you create in subjective awareness is what you also create in objective awareness. The difference between subjective and objective is that the subjective is quite precise and literal, the objective is abstract. Therefore, one action that you may be incorporating subjectively, one direction, one motion that you may be creating subjectively, may be incorporated in thousands of manners objectively, for objective awareness is abstract. It is quite the reverse of what we think. We associate our subjective awareness with the dream state. Our dream state is quite objective. If we generate imagery in association with physical reality, it is objective. We are quite abstract in our dream reality, which is quite a mirror for our waking reality, which is also quite abstract. Our subjective awareness is quite precise and is not abstract. It is literal. Our subjective awareness may be precisely identifying to us a belief that is influencing what we are creating quite precisely, and we may be generating hundreds of objective expressions of imagery to reflect that one belief. It matters not what orientation you incorporate. This action is the same. It is not a question of frame of mind, for that is implying association with thinking, and this is not associated with thinking. We do not incorporate thought into generating choice and action. But this is what is familiar to us, our identification of thought, our reliance upon thought, and our expectation of thought to be accurate, and it is not always accurate. Its accuracy is entirely dependent upon what information is offered to it. Information is generated through communication, thought is not a communication. I am not expressing to any of you that we do not think, for this is a function of our objective physical manifestation. It is no less a function of our physical consciousness, it is no less a function than our heartbeat or than our breathing. It is quite valuable, and it is being generated continuously. It does not stop any more than our heartbeat stops or our breathing stops. What occurs is that we move our attention. At times we are paying attention intensely to our thoughts, and at times we are not. What I am saying to you is not a devaluation of the mechanism of thought, but to recognize what it is, to understand that it is not a communication, that it does not precede our creation of reality. You may think and think and think and think, and it shall not create your reality. You may wish all that you may, and you may think of what you are wishing and not create it. And the reason that you may not create it is that thought does not generate reality. It does not create reality, it interprets. It translates communications, and we offer ourselves many avenues of communication. It is the function of thought to translate. But if you are not offering this mechanism of thought adequate information in association with our communications, it is not translating accurately. It translates generally, and this is the significance of paying attention to what influences our choices and paying attention to our choices. What you choose may be associated with your direction. Your choices are what you do, not necessarily what you think. You may think to yourself in one moment, I am going to move across this room and consume appetizers. And what you may actually do is turn your attention to the individual that is sitting beside you and engage in conversation. You are not doing what you think, but you are doing what you desire, in association with your direction. This is the significance in paying attention to what you are doing and what influences what you do. For your doing is your choice, and what influences your choosing is quite significant, for your beliefs influence your choosing continuously. Your desire is always moving in association with your beliefs, and this is tremendously significant. You may identify your wants, although at times that may be quite challenging also. Many of us are objectively unaware of our wants, which is quite an objective expression. What you desire is a subjective expression, which is not hidden from you. Your desire influences your direction, and your direction is expressed objectively through your choices and your doing, but you do not pay attention. Therefore, you are not aware objectively of what your desire is, what your direction is, and what you are choosing, because you are not always choosing what you want. You can ask yourself, cannot a person use thought to determine a choice, and therefore use thought to determine the choice that makes the action? It is dependent upon your communications and how you are translating, and if you are translating accurately. At times, individuals do translate different communications, and emotion is not your only communication avenue. Therefore, at times individuals are translating different avenues of communication adequately and accurately and translate this into thought, and therefore generate one action in association with thought or a choice in association with thought. But the thought does not create choice. You may be offering yourself a communication, and you may be accurately translating it through the mechanism of thought, and you may choose to be generating action in association with the accuracy of that translation, but the thought is not creating the action or the choice. The perception mechanism does it. Your subjective awareness is continuously communicating to you, and your objective awareness translates the active communication from many different avenues to thought. Now, if you are paying attention, this is the significant action, the movement of attention, and attention is not thought. If you are allowing yourself to move your attention, you shall offer yourself information which may be accurately translated through thought, and this is also your confusion of why you rely upon thought and that you think it precedes your choices and your reality. It does not. But this is the reason that you associate in this manner, for you incorporate a linear time framework. You generate a perception that creates a sequence of events, and this is the manner in which you think in sequence of events. This is not necessarily the manner in which you actually create, but you think in a sequence of events, which is the translation of what is actually occurring, and therefore the translation is offered to your perception and influence of your perception, and therefore you create in sequences of events. Although, at times your thought process becomes confused, and you do not create in sequences of events, and you surprise yourself and you create the disappearance of something. Like when you lost your keys. Which is another example or evidence that thought does not create your reality or direct it. But it becomes confusing, for you think that it does, and it does not. You offer yourselves evidence in every one of your days how thought does not create your reality and does not drive you or motivate you through actions that you incorporate, but you discount your actual reality, what is actually occurring, for you are so very accustomed to relying upon the thought mechanism to create your reality, which does not. You recognize that you incorporate a belief, and you actually allow yourself to accept this belief, recognize its influence. You genuinely move the concept into reality. You allow yourself to experience, for without experience the concept remains concept and it is not moved into reality. You may think and ponder and analyze all that you may, it shall matter not. I may express to you all, you incorporate much to be incorporating thinking about, do you not? Remember, thought is a natural function. It is a natural objective function of your physical expression. As I have stated, it is quite similar to your heartbeat or your breath. It continues continuously in a similar manner. This is not the point is your attention. I am aware that most of you continue to not quite identify what attention is or how it moves and continue to associate your attention with thought. But your attention moves quite freely, not in association with thought. Our communications are not limited to our emotions. Pay attention to our imagination, which influences the thinking quite often. I will prepare a video about imagination soon. My recommendation is to pay attention to self in the now. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.